Part of our trip here out to Lexington is checking on our existing assets. This is the Preakness Apartments here. Our brand new signs are only about, what, 3 months old?
Yep.
And this tenant just skipped out on us. Okay, so you can see in this unit here, they've just sort of left a bit of a mess. When they pulled the decks off, they didn't seal it properly. You can see when people leave, they just leave, man. They just leave everything behind. And this unit was a surprise for us to learn that this tenant apparently had a little fire here.
All right, we have a story for you here. In a panic, they decided to tear down their roof.
And this tenant just skipped out on us, so we found out this unit was vacant and they left us a little bit of mess. So let me show you what we have going on here. Okay, so you can see in this unit here, they've just sort of left a bit of a mess. We definitely have to renovate this unit. This is not a unit we renovated. This room, not too bad. Obviously gonna need some paint and clean up. We're gonna put some new flooring in. Here we've got a bit of a mess. Some furniture, nothing too terrible, nothing that we have to concern ourselves about in there. This is probably a unit that we will now turn into a 3-bedroom. This is one of our 3-bedroom layouts that we can put a wall in over there. You can see when people leave, they just leave, man. They just leave everything behind. And this unit was a surprise for us to learn that this tenant apparently had a little fire here. So you can see you got some burns. Something happened here. Really not too sure. There was not a microwave there. There was just a light and a hood, so not exactly sure what's happening. But anyway, we are just day in the life, checking out our units, and this is the kind of stuff you find. But our team is in place. We will renovate this unit, and we'll be on our way. This unit will probably be ready to go for our tenants here in about 2 to 3 weeks. Our brand new signs are only about, what, 3 months old?
Yep.
Falling off. Something happened. Maybe got caught by the wind, or I don't know what. We always see issues when we come to our properties. That is natural. Like that sign I just showed you guys. Obviously, not something we want to see. Our sign falling down that we just put up about 3 months ago. Something happens when you work on the property, you stay here all the time. It's like you're blind to it. Literally, as we're standing there looking at the sign, our maintenance guy comes up and says, "Oh, I'm gonna fix that today." And I said, "Did you see it?" He goes, "Well, I saw it when you guys were standing there looking at it." And so sometimes it takes the attention of the owners or their representative to point some things out. And so literally just our presence here makes our property better. Ideally, our maintenance guys would see this. Ideally, our property manager would see this. Ideally, the guy that walks our property every week for us would see that. Sometimes things get missed. When we come from out of town, we sort of have that fresh perspective. You know, I'm here every other month or so, so we see things, we pick up on things that the site staff gets blind to, that they kind of just don't see anymore. Or maybe it's on the list, but it's fallen down and they don't realize how bad it's getting because they're focused on everything else. So when you come in with fresh eyes, it's just so important to visit your property. I mean, look, just that easy. Now those guys will have that sign fixed today. Where are we going, Dave?
We are going red brick side, 208, 213.
All right, so this is a big project we have going on over here at Preakness Apartments. As you can see behind me, this building looks like it's in pretty rough shape, and it is. When we walked inside the units, when we first bought this property, you feel shaky, you feel like you're kind of falling down one way. And so we got an engineer out here, and what we found is that when they pulled the decks off, there used to be decks on the back of each of these. When they pulled the decks off, they didn't seal it properly. So when you don't seal it properly, what happens? Water gets in. And so water got in behind the brick and starts to erode everything behind the brick. And the structural integrity of the wood and the supports inside the building start to crumble away. This doesn't happen in 1 month or 2 months, but it's years and years of water coming in and repeated damage over and over again. So you start to feel it as you're walking inside the building. We started to get really nervous. So we had quite a few people come out, engineers, experts, and we didn't know if this was a $10,000 fix or a $1 million fix, right? What happens if our building is falling down? Good news is we've isolated the problem to the structural support underneath here. So you can see behind these covers here what we're doing. We're reframing, we're putting new wood supports in. We're going to then be able to come back and put the brick back over it. This is not raising the building back up, but it is securing everything that we have here and making sure that we do it properly. Once we get the brick back up, we're going to weather seal and make sure that no new water gets in, and it's going to preserve the integrity of this building. So the last piece here, once we get the structural integrity fixed, obviously we have to do some cleanup here. We've got a gutter that's falling down. We've got some wood soffits that are in kind of bad shape. But once we get the structural support, we're going to come back in, we're going to clean this up. You can see our new windows are already in. We're going to fix up the rest of it. Once the structure is done, it's going to look really great. We're excited about it.
We have a story for you here. So this is one of our units. We had a call with our property managers, we do every week, and she told us an issue of what a tenant claimed was a leak. This would have to be a pretty big leak to actually be a leak. What was interesting was when the tenant was taking a video of this on her cell phone and sending it to our management team, we could overhear her and her boyfriend discussing drugs that they hid, what they thought they had hid in the ceiling. Might have been a little high when they were giving that news, so in a panic, they decided to tear down their roof, searching for drugs. Another day in your life, huh?
Wow. Hey, we can check out the attics. Guess what? No roof leaks. This unit did look pretty good. This was one of our renovated units, huh?